Gear Raid 119 free-to-play edition. Let's start off by looking at the teams that have beat this dungeon. You'll notice that these people have seriously nice shit. So, this is what I mean by free-to-play friendly. These guys are not what I would call free-to-play friendly because, they might be free-to-plays, but they got all of the key legendaries that they need to complete this dungeon, which is really, really improbable unless you're spending a lot of money. And then there's me, Baby Shark. Notice how my only legendaries are free ones, and then the rest is epic tier. So that's what I mean by free to play friendly. That you don't have to have 1 in a million odds or dump a shit ton of money to pull all of the key legendaries. Right, so let's go over the team real quick. The first guy, he's just there for the faction bonus. He is a free login reward. The second person, Iona, she is $5 if you don't pull her. It's not free to play, but it's pretty damn close, considering that other characters are like hundreds of dollars in shards to pull. Lightlock, he's fusible. The next two characters, Vortex and Dolores, they're the real pain point of this composition. They're not fusible. So you gotta luck out and pull them. If you don't pull them, you can find replacements. I'll go over that later on. Basically, just any healer and any good AoE mage that you equip well. The next row, we have Wrath, login reward. We have Abomination. He is fusible, free to play friendly. Volca, she's a quest reward. Then the next dude, I don't even know his name. You can use any Nightmare faction character for this. This guy is, he's not going to be doing anything. I'm going to be popping him in, taking him out. So he can be replaced with anybody. And then Autumn, she's a rare. So here's the comp. Let's get into it. Yeah, so don't feel like you have to copy my run one for one. If you have better shit, use it. Right, so I put down my Abomination, and I just put down my Nightmare character. This guy is wearing this set that I'm about to show. Right, so this bonus, it doesn't go away when the character goes away. Also, it doesn't stack. So he's just there for the Nightmare faction bonus, and to drop this bonus onto Abomination. Yeah, so Abomination is going to have a permanent 10% increase. So with that guy, I just put down some like level 1 of that gear on him. Next, I'm going to lay down my buffers, my Dolores, and my Autumn. If you don't have Dolores, then you would use another AoE mage. Hopefully you lucked out and got Zealous. If you got Zealous, he makes this run super fucking easy. Um, yeah, if not, just see what else you have that can do the job. You need him to do about, I'd say like 20% of the damage here if you're not using Dolores. So next, I'm laying down my Vortex. My Abomination is in his heal range. I'm going to finish off by laying down the rest of my Nightmare faction. Once I get a total of 4 Nightmare faction placements, I get the 35% attack speed boost. Next, I'm going to put down my Lightlock. For him, I just geared him up in, I took gear from one of my DPS characters. He's got attack speed, he's got attack, he's got crit rate, crit damage. So I'm trying to squeeze out every last bit of damage that I can right here. So right now, what you're noticing is I wait before proccing all of the ultimates. Basically, once the boss starts using her like jungle heal ability, the one she's channeling right now, you can't outdamage that. So if you time your ultimates to go at the same time as that, like jungle favor, jungle grace, whatever it's called, you're just gonna waste your ultimates. So what I like to do is I like to let her start the jungle grace, and then I give it a couple seconds, let it tick a few times, and then I'll start using my ultimates. That way I'll come in at the very end of it. There's a pretty short window you have in between her using the jungle grace heals, so you need to be able to burst as much damage as you can during that window. And right now, since my Autumn died, I'm just waiting a couple seconds for these AoE damagers to walk through. Basically, with Autumn, I have her at like level 40 with very bad gear. So yeah, I would stop this from happening by actually gearing her. Yeah, she's just there to make this run a little bit smoother. She's especially helpful if you have a hard time getting to 100% crit on your characters, but also that like 60% crit damage is super nice. Again, if you have AoE mages, if you have a Zealous, anything like that, throw him in place of that Autumn. Autumn and Dolores can be replaced here with just more AoE mages. So depending on what you have, you can make this run work. This is just a different way to do it in case you don't have like the top tier AoE nukes that you need to beat this stage in the conventional way. So right here we're just wrapping up the run. As you can see, it's getting pretty close. I think at this point I'm just ulting whenever anyone's ultimate ability comes up. The damage is slowing down from the enemies, and yeah, basically just cleaning it up. You know, once I beat it and get the 30% boost, that's gonna make these runs a lot faster. But yeah, that's this run. I'm gonna show you the damage graph in a second, and then I'll go over these characters' gear. So let's just take a look at this. Well, what do we get? Okay, it's not awful. All right, so let's take a look. Yeah, as you can see, my Abomination is absolutely stomping shit in this round. All right, let's do a gear breakdown. Basically, Abomination has the nicest shit on my account. All my characters are not geared like this. When I was originally doing this run, I was using two mages. I was using my Zealous as well. So Abomination was wearing pretty shitty gear, and I could get away with it. But since I'm using just one mage, I have to gear him in the absolute best stuff I have. So with your runs, if you have multiple mages, then the gear expectation is going to be a lot lower for your Abomination. But if you're using just one, like I am, you're going to have to farm the hell out of Gear Raid 2. If you want to know how to do that, go watch Mabucket's videos on it. He's got like 10 where he teaches you how to cheese it with pretty low gear requirements. So just farm a lot. Free to play does not mean you don't farm. Free to play does not mean you're rolling up here with all purple gear. Yeah, basically farm your gear if you lack characters, and yeah, make it happen.